My lords and ladies, here begins the court of Chimeron. By right and tradition, the first word goes to the crown.
Welcome to Chimeron. I hope you enjoy our building. We have one.
We got it at the time.
It's been another long year. There's been a lot more loss than I'm personally comfortable or okay with. But there's also been some big victories. And I can honestly say that I have seen sides of my friends and family here, the realms of Vale Haven, more beautiful than I had known ever existed. I am glad and honored to share this Day of the Dead with you, my friends, our friends. Thank you for joining us.
The court calls Magus Atticus, Lord of Pax Tharkis, Tam Lin, Truth of Fairy.
This is indeed a sad time. We've all now lost people. And it is on that subject that I must speak, although not in the way that you may think. Cyrus, are you here and can you join me? We have now a grievance between us, Cyrus. And I want to start by apologizing. I spoke ill words against your dear friend, and those words were not respectful either to your faith, but most importantly to your grieving. And I understand, as much as anyone here, grieving. And some of you know I have a gift, cannot lie. I should have another gift sometimes of knowing when not to speak. I spoke words that were not kind, and I could have been silent. For that, I apologize. We will always have differences of opinion. It does not mean we have to be in conflict. If you'd like to speak about your grievance, I think you deserve a chance.
I lost someone. Loss is a poor choice of words. Someone I care about who can no longer stand at my side. But I get to serve him in a new way. Not as a friend, or as a brother, or as someone I knew who could stand beside me at my right, on the right flank, and never once lose his fight, and now as a deity. And for me, this is a difficult process. I don't rationalize or think of things the same way that many of you out here do. Instead, I do things my own way, and I grieve my own way, and a lot of times, it's with aggression. I can say this, I am so emotional when it comes to the subject of Rode not being with us anymore, that if someone speaks his name in an insult, I will go mad. I will just lose control, and that's how I grieve. And if that offends you, I'm sorry here and now, but I won't be sorry if you make fun of him.
And we saw this play out today. Your anger at my words, my only chosen, ill-advised one. Your anger went from a threat to violence. And I hope we can come to the point where we can clear the air between us on this grievance. For now, we must deal with the fact that someone, a guest in our lands, murdered a lord and citizen of Chimeron, committed a crime here. And I don't think, as a land of law and order, that we can simply let that pass unmarked, because it is important that civilization uphold its laws. And so, I've been thinking about how we can resolve that this event not pass, both our grievance and the way it went, without consequences. And so, I have given you an apology. I offer you a lesson and your choice of a gift or a punishment. Do you accept? First, a lesson. because I don't want you to walk away from this and go down a path that you cannot come back. Do you have faith in your fallen friend and your risen God? Then why can the words of others cause you to act the way you
That was have to be something I self-reflect on. I can't tell you why I act the way I act, other than emotions towards friends in your eyes.
If you wish, when our blood is cooler, to speak, and continue to talk with you. I want you to find a path that does not lead to a place that you cannot reach. And now I offer you the choice between a gift and a punishment.
I choose a gift.
We might appreciate this if we remember history. I offer you the gift that I was offered. I cannot, of course, make it last as long as the Queen did. But I think perhaps I can make it last a year and a day.
A year and a day.
A year and a day, to the black and white.
The black and white. Can I accept your gift?
Take a taste. You are now blessed with a tongue that cannot lie. You must not speak, but when you speak, you must speak the truth.
A normal man would come uncoiled at this, but I am not a normal man. I take this as an opportunity for the realms now to see my words as gospel. Road has ascended. He is part of the Dark One. An apocalypse is coming, and there are those who will keep you ignorant. If you want to be enlightened, seek me. Seek those who know the truth. That true peace can be found. I appreciate it.
Hope you find your peace. Your Majesty. Thank you.
The court calls Sir McHale.
Excuse me?
Thank you for your time. And thank you everybody for yours. I am Sir Mikhail Stelnikov, Knight of Eaglesrook, member of Chimeron. There are many... I've spent a lot of time here, and before anyone gets worried, I plan to continue to spend a lot of time here. But there's a lot of things that I have learned, a lot of places I have been, many crafts that I know, many arts that I know, and I have taught them to none. And today that will change. Priscilla Hunting Hawk, please come forward. Hello, Priscilla. Good to see you. As this matters, we have spent some time together and we have talked quite a bit, and you've already learned quite a bit. I would like to take you as my personal apprentice to teach you my arts, arrow making, and any other craft that I know that you wish to learn. I would accept you into my family and into my protection. This would not bestow any obligation of fealty or prohibition of fealty on your part. You understand that? Do you accept?
Yes.
Thank you. M for Mikhail, and K for Priscilla. For you too. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you.
The court calls Phelan Shadowmoon, High Priest of Aurora.
As As started by Clan Laird Ralzara of Rothwesen, tonight we'll be holding a memorial ceremony for those who have lost, especially in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and throughout the War of Bedlam. I would ask everyone who would like to participate to please meet outside within 5 minutes of the conclusion of court. We will try to go very quickly. I know there is dancing and an auction, but I do want to take the time to make sure we do not forget who and what we lost against our fight. Thank you very much.
The court calls Wei Sarfien.
My fellow heroes and soldiers against the darkness. Many of you have known me as Orion Mars. Many of you know me as the Sword of Light created by Orion against Bedlam for a long while. And you may continue to know me as Orion, but in this talk of loss, I bring good bearing, good news. The worlds of Night Sky, Dawn Tomorrow, and World Horizon have been restored and are currently under reconstruction. Those who wish to visit us may do so at your own peril. We are not our paths or we are very wild right now. But I'd like to thank you all for what you have done to help restore my lands and for welcoming me into the realms.
The court calls Dame Twinaria of Ashenmark.
Good evening, everyone. Like the news announced previously, I don't want to reflect on our losses. Seasons come and go. Heroes are heroes. And while we mourn them and remember them, we also need to remember the good things. And I have something that I want to celebrate. 17 seasons now, 17 years have passed since I started venturing in this realm. And there's one memory that was always held very high for me. It was the first Queen of Hearts I ran for Queen, and I didn't win. But it was one of the best times I ever had because I found out where my friends are. We went out, we had a rollicking good time. And though we lost, a prize was given to me. I'm not one to hold on to trophies, but this is one that I've held on to for about a decade. Squire? Thank you, Rainer. This is the sword that Blade won that year when he became champion, probably for the 2nd or 3rd time. But it meant the world to me that he gave it to me for having such a wonderful team and for having such people support me. Now, I would like to give this to somebody that I want to support and somebody who I see as a champion. And I hope you will accept it. Morse, welcome back. It's good to see your face again, every day. You are my lord. Will you accept this?
I will.
Will you bear this as the Lord of Ashenmark?
I will.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
The court calls Sir Duncan, Sir Vaughn, and Red.
Greetings, lords, ladies. You all know Sir Vaughn very well. You may not know Red, but he is a brother-in-arms. He's not a member of Reality yet, but we're working on him. But an excellent guy. And I am here to tell you that several years ago we embarked on a bit of an adventure. We we came upon a group of people who were wandering around the realms, who were clearly of the kind of cut and quality that would make them belong here and fit in and be brothers and sisters to you all every bit as much as anyone I'd ever met. And we worked with them, and we took hours and hours of training and learned a lot from them as well. And I'm sure you both agree we have had the honor to be able to bring them to the point where they eventually formed into a group and chose a name, and they're working on heraldry. And we would very much like to present to you, our family and our friends, our closest, our new group, Clan Riverhawk. Would you please step forwards? These young people you see before you represent the future to me of the realms. They are warriors to be, mages to be, and like every new group in the realms, they will need your support at times. And they have more potential than I've seen in an awfully long time. There are going to be some great things coming out of this group. And there are more than you just see in front of you. Just not everyone can make it today. Would you like to say anything, gentlemen? You don't have to. That's good. He says a lot already. Clan Riverhawk does not have a leader, at least not yet, but there is someone who has been taking many of the duties of leadership. River, would you please step forward? River, I have a gift. This is an heirloom, something I've had for more than a decade. It is a pendant. It is a boat, because you, River, may find rocky tides occasionally, not tides, but you may need help getting across the river someday. So, happy birthday, because it is her birthday. Please welcome Clan Riverhawk to the club. And that is all. Thank you very much.
The court calls Indana Ward.
Just about 2 years ago, Valerie Hart stood before a group of adventurers similar to this at a Leviathan. She saw a need in the realms, something that was missing, and that was a community for healers to have a support network, have someone they could go to, no matter what it is that they need. As many of you may also know, Valerie Hart made the ultimate sacrifice a couple of weekends ago, and will not be able to lead that group anymore. She has placed this responsibility in what I hope are my capable hands. And yes, we will still keep new members, and I would also like to kind of get the ball rolling. At Phelan's upcoming feast, the Feast of Autumn's Twilight, I'd like to hold a small get-together where we can discuss healing. What is it that you're looking for in the realms? What is it that, you think is lacking? So, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please bring them to me. I will be the new mistress of the Healers Guild. Thank you.
The court calls Larrysaurus Rex of Zoravia.
Alright, so some of you know already, I started the Nation of Zoravia a few months ago. Can all the members of Zoravia that are here come up here? And the sort of members? No. So, Zoravia is a fun nation.
Right!
We live in the land around the volcano, really far south, that kind of showed up recently. And I just wanted to officially announce that Soravia exists as a nation, and I hope that we can be friends with all the other nations. And please don't declare war on us. So yeah, can you raise the keys of the banner up? Soravia is fun, hooray! If anybody wants to join, just ask. Alright. Thank you.
He's so casual.
The court calls Quinn, Duke of Magic of the Mortal Court, and all members of the Mortal Court attending. For the last few weeks, I have ridden the length and breadth of the realms to see with my own eyes what I know in my heart to be true. That once and for all is gone. Utterly. Completely. That no more our lands will face this darkness, this danger, or this death. And as I went, I saw nothing but fertile ground. No stone lay upon stone. No structure, no forest, no evidence of artifice of any kind. Nothing greater than a shrub. But I found a few flowers. I have collected them and brought them here today. I would like you to take these back to your lands, dry them, and then bury them. The day after Bedlam fell, the mortal court gathered. Before the humble and the eternal, in the sight of gods and men. And we set things down by mortal will. That was the first time this ritual was done. This is the second. It will not be the last. For it is not just about the end of Bedlam. It is the beginning of something new. Our lands, these flowers, and this court are representations of that. This is the third incarnation of the mortal court. Its goal was the destruction of Bedlam. It has succeeded. The third incarnation will soon disband. A new one may take its place. That is up to these members, what they wish to do. The Feywilds are just that, wild and free. But they're free of the corruption of Bedlam. Here in the sight of gods and men, before the humble and the eternal, we mark this day in indelible time. For all who would know in the halls of Danaan, this land is safe once again. Any of you who have lost someone to Bedlam, I lost my entire family except my baby sister. They can be returned to you. Call their souls. Ask your gods. Bring them home. It is safe. So mote it be, by mortal will. That is all. The court calls Lord Sir Aston Stromgate.
Counter. We have somewhat of a tradition down in the lands of Vinehaven. And that's that the black and white ball is traditionally, like it is for many new adventurers, the first event that we take the new members of the Oaken Guard to and induct them into the Oaken Garden. It's obviously a fantastic place for that to happen, for them to see what this community is really about, what the Realms is really about. And we have the sincere honor and privilege of this being the 8th
year that we have brought members of the Oaken Guard into our community through this event. It's a tradition of ours that as members of the Oaken Guard grow and as they find a place in the realms beyond the Oaken Guard, we call that graduating from the Oaken Guard. And many people that you know were once members of the Oaken Guard and graduated. And we recognize the people who have done so with a favor of the Oaken Guard. The favor of the Oaken Guard, a simple piece of blue and green cloth, is our way of allowing those members to remember what their roots were, to remember where they came from, to remember the friends that they grew up alongside. And as we've had a couple recent graduates from the Oaken Guard, I would like to recognize them and give them their graduation favors. And those two people are Cairo and Charlotte, if you would please come up. This is for you. Congratulations. This is for you. Not quite done yet. Not quite done. A little more Oaken Guard business to do. So as I said, 8 years we've been bringing people here, and throughout these 8 years, many men and women have come through the Oaken Guard, and they have gone on to find their place in the realms. And the next thing that I'd like to do is, for those people who were once members of the Oaken Guard, if they would all join Cal and I up here, please. Yeah, I sure do. I sure do. So these are but a few of the faces that you've seen and that you've known to go on to do incredible things for this community, for the realms. And I can't say enough about how proud I am of them. But these men and women and the other younger members of the Oaken Guard, they didn't get to where they were now alone. And of course, I had a small part in the shaping of who they are, and I'm very honored to have been a part of their lives in some small way. But there are other people as well, people who never wore the Oaken Guard tabard, yet were still instrumental in helping these people grow, in being a part of their training, in teaching them everything that they have learned up to this point, so that they could go on to make their own marks upon the community. And I decided that those people that helped them along the way, even though they were never members of the Oaken Guard, even though they don't wear the belt favor, the graduation favor of once having been a part of it, they still need to be recognized. And so what I'd like to do now is present this favor to a few individuals and name them patrons of the Oaken Guard. People who we would like to recognize as instrumental to making the organization as successful as it's been. Because it really has been an incredibly successful venture. So first among those people, I would like to recognize Ranger, who is probably hiding somewhere, as Ranger is apt to do.
Yeah.
Where is that guy?
You might want to move on.
We found him! Ranger, did you hear anything that I just said? No. Let's repeat it again for Ranger, but the short version. Ranger. To thank the members of the community who have been instrumental in over the past 8 years making the Oaken Guard as successful as it is, I have created the title Patron of the Oaken Guard. And for the work that you have done to help raise these people, help teach them how to be good members of the community, I would like to present you with this.
Thank you.
The next person that I would like to name, Graham of Folkestone. One of the earliest people to come to our aid, and one that has indelibly left his mark on so many people. And next I would like to call up, please, Shandar of Grimlock.
No one likes him.
Kira of Grimlock. And Nighthawk of Grimlock. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The court calls Magus Prime, Phelan Shadowmoon.
I would like the Magi of the Realms to please join me up here. I want to start by thanking everyone for giving us this time and welcoming everyone. We are the Magi of the Realms. It is my honor to come before you and speak to you a little bit about our order. It is my hope that I would see a lot more people join the order, and it's my privilege to actually hopefully welcome someone into the order tonight. Apprentice? Here. My apprentice, Piper, will tell you a little bit about the order by reading our tenets.
Tenets of the Magi of the Realms. 1. Seek knowledge. Ignorance equals death. 2. Spread wisdom. Experience unspoken is lost. 3. Ascertain the unknown life, not questioned. Or ascertain the unknown. Life not questioned is wasted. 4. Quest until the last quest is done. 5. Support the role of magic in the realms.
Those are the tenets of the order that were handed down to us from the Knights of the Realms. And I would like to invite my fellow Magi to speak a little bit about the candidate that we would like to bring forward and their thoughts on this.
I think I'm starting things off. As you just heard with our tenets, one of the big ones for me in it is promote the role of magic within the realms. This can be done in a myriad of different ways. But to me, it's practicing your brand of magic, your icon, something so strongly that when people see it happen, they like, this person is really good at what they're doing. They're in the top tier of everyone in the community. When this certain type of thing needs to get done, everybody immediately goes, hey, can you go take care of this for us? You are the best we have at this. And when that is consistent across the board, and multiple people are doing that, it's special, and it says something.
I'm one of the newest Magi, and so when we think about inducting someone into the order, I have a very high standard. I looked at these people when they invited me to join them and knew that I looked up to every one of them, and I continue to look for that. That is the case with the person I wish to speak about.
in a counterpoint, I am one of the oldest of the Mad Hatter. One of the main things we do is mentor. We try to, and you see it in a number of our tenants, we try to pay it forward and pass our knowledges on. One of the main jobs of that in mentoring is to help a person get to a point where they are recognized by their peers as being exceptional, without any input from that mentor when it comes that time. The person we're looking at, their mentor did not bring them forward to be recognized, did not speak on their behalf in any of the meetings, and did not vote for them. This was all done by the peers.
And with that, and also being an in-character and out-of-charge order, I would like to call forth candidate Richard Davis. Quinn. You've heard the Magi Brown speak before you. You've heard our tenants. We would like very much for you to join us as a group.
I would be deeply honored. My privilege to do a plug out of tonight's ceremony.
Round three.
No, this is, I'm getting pretty fast with this. You're gonna want to take this. I'd like to let everyone welcome Muse Magus of the Realms, Quinn. Plugging good. Thank you, everyone.
And now for the announcement of the winner of the Royal Patisserie competition. The court calls Princess Bryn.
I was delighted to be. No. No, I can't. But I was delighted to once again be able to be part of the judging, and I will say that I learned a great deal about tiramisu this afternoon from all of the very different entries that we received. There were 4 entries, and I'm going to, since I do not know who submitted each of the entries, I will need them to come forward, and they will need to speak with Bright in the kitchen after this. So I will go, we have a winner and a runner-up, and we didn't list all of them in order. So the 2 that were not the winner and runner-up, I have to remember this off the top of my head because I didn't write down the other 2. One of them was the chocolate explosion tiramisu, which is delicious, but whoever's that should stand up. Oh, very good. You need to acknowledge yourself to me so that I can wait. There we go. All right. And the other one was, I just saw this a moment ago. Will, can you go get the list? Thank you.
Bryn, you need an assist?
Yes. Yes, this is a job for the Order of the Spoon. Right. I know. All right, the one that had strawberries on it, we'll go with that. Thank you.
Excellent. Right. Yes, it was in fact called Strawberry Tiramisu. So, who submitted that one? Yay! So, I will say, really, I would be delighted to be served any of these dishes, and may I say that you will all be served these dishes in a moment. So, a moment like after lunch. So you can all enjoy. All right, what everyone wants to know, the runner-up for the best tiramisu was the uncreative tiramisu.
Woohoo, not the worst!
Thank you very much. Which actually was, we thought, rather creative. And raspberries in it, that was good. But the one that won was, I hope I get this right, the Bumble Masu. I'm trying to remember exactly how this works, but the winner of the contest gets to pick.
So, all people who entered the contest will be receiving black tickets for tonight's auction, a plate of all tiramisus entered, which has been put aside for you, and a partial subsidizing of the next Chimeron event you will be attending, or Uncle Cecil's as the case may be. The winner, that's just what we give everyone, because we're crazy. The winner, as the Royal Patissiere of Chimeron, it is your duty, Rainer Skyline, to choose the dessert for this year's Feast of Chimeron, which will then be next year's competition piece, the black and white.
Make it something easy.
We need to discuss this.
So you don't have to commit yet, but just curious what you're leaning towards.
I do like cheesecake. I like carrot cake. I like brownies. I like key
Rainer, we'll talk.
Excellent.
You opened the floodgate, man.
Please recognize this year's Royal Patissiere of Chimeron. I will add, I just want to add, from the judging standpoint, what was fascinating, everyone's numbers, so on any given judge, when you looked at their numbers for scoring the various tiramisus, all 4 entries were incredibly tight for each judge.
Yes.
So while each person had their favorites, it was interesting to note that all of them came really close to each other within each judge's preferences, which speaks to the quality of the competition that people are submitting. So thank you.
Yes, thank you all for participating.
The court calls the King's 12.
Ago, an agent for the one calling himself the Shadow King stole your crown. 5 seasons ago, 12 members of Chimeron recovered it. 4 seasons, 1 year ago, you presented us with our reward. We are the King's 12. We are those who have quested for Chimeron and have done so with excellence. Deeds of the caliber deserving such a title must be recorded. I have done so. This book contains the deeds of the King's 12 in the vault of the Shadow King. I acquired the accounts as written by multiple members of the group. They are written in there as one cohesive narrative, but still keeping the individual voice. I intend, with your permission, as chronicler of Chimeron and as currently a member of the King's 12. To maintain that book and continue it as a record, as members of the King's 12 find new people who quest with excellence within Chimeron to pass their title down, so that their deeds may be recorded as well.
A fitting volume. At 26 pages for just one quest. I admit I'm looking forward to the novel this will become. And I'm especially looking forward to the future deeds you all will do for Chimeron, as well as, in time, learning those to whom you pass on your titles, as you find those who are ready to take your place among the 12. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
The court calls Court Mage Janice Kiltra.
With the defeat of Bedlam, Faye had returned to the halls of Danaan. The courts returned there, and the magics of Chimeron waned. The magics of this lake, which were once great and varied, became just a single path, a path of shame. As this happened, I felt the magics change, and I knew something needed to be done. A path of magic created from the ideals of Chimeron, of what Chimeron truly is, has been forged, and with help of many here today, we had a chance to truly make this magic. We have a path of Fae, which we are tied to. A path memoriam for those we've lost over all of the years. History and tradition, for this is what Chimeron stands for. And family, because that is what Chimeron is. Your Majesty, today I am able to present these paths to you as completed. That is all. Thank you very much.
The court will now read the last will and testament of Lady Altana Cecil. I, Altana Cecil, of sound mind, body, and soul, do write this last will and testament in the event that I might pass or will no longer be able to carry out my duties as headmistress of the 3 shops, the Jade Dragon Tea House, the Onyx Tortoise Bath House, and Sapphire Phoenix Coffee Roasters. In this document, I now leave my final wishes to be carried out after I pass into the next life. To the people of Chimeron, I leave Sapphire Isle and the coffee plantation. As I made it a refuge for those who lost their homes to Bedlam, so now may it profit my homeland as they rebuild and move forward without my guidance. To stand in my place, I leave Sonia de Martes as head of the roasting house and overseer of the care and well-being of the plantation. Sonia will be the sole caretaker and house mother and will answer to His Majesty's orders. In the matter of the Onyx Tortoise Bathhouse, I leave this to Yip and Aldemar of Valdara. As caretaker and house mother, Eve Windsor will answer to Yip. May its profits be invested towards the future generations of the realms. A portion of this profit will go towards Highbridge University to benefit a scholarship to the future of our spellcasters. In the matter of the Jade Dragon Tea House, I leave this to my sister, Tea Master Demetria Highwater, and brother in spirit, Quinn. This house was made to be a safe house for all who came to the realms. As the house was envisioned to be a place of commune and peace, so shall it remain to the realms as a ground where all are made equal. The tea girls that I have saved and given shelter to will now look to you, Demetria and Quinn, as their high mistress, mother, mistress, and godfather. Treat them well, and take any young lady in need as of a safe haven, so they might learn to feed themselves. To my dear cousin, King Sir Alexander Cecil of Chimeron, I do not wish for you to face this world alone. I have known loneliness, and it was not until you opened the doors of your house and arms to me that I found the love of family is much deeper than blood itself. To you, I leave someone most in need of your care. I fear she will be lost without me. She has not been able to speak to anyone since I found her, but she follows me around when I am home. The girls call her Saya, since she follows me like a shadow. She has been mute since the day that I found her. Perhaps meeting you will inspire her to speak again. You opened your arms and named to me once. Do not let my passing lock them forever. You both will need each other. Saya needs you. She needs a family like Chimeron, a cousin, an uncle, like you. In the event of my death, there is a final letter to be read to those that knew me. These are my final wishes. Make them so. Oh yes, and keep Magnus and Kalinar away from the girls. I'll not have my hard work turn into a demigod baby factory. Or a geisha brothel for pirates after. So written in her hand, Mistress Altana Cecil of Pax Darkness.
I wish it known that this is the first time Demigod Baby Factory or Geisha Brothel for Pirates has ever been set in court.
The court recognizes His Majesty King Cucullin.
Heroes of the Realms, you fought a valiant fight. I congratulate you on your victory, and thank you all for freeing my homeland. Before I pass back that way for the year, there is an item of business that must be taken care of for one of the orders that I represent. Your Highness, will you step forward? The Order of the Red Branch has met, and we have decided that we would like to name you as Knight Commander in my stead. My sister, do you accept?
My brother.
Yes.
Awesome.
This is what you should all aspire to. Being that tiny is a bit.
I'll figure out something. Close enough.
As I will not be able to be amongst you all, even the little bit I was, we need someone to stand there for us.
Thank you for everything that you've done for the order since its inception, and I remember it all.
The first thing I wish to do for you, as the new Knight Commander, is gift the Order with a weapon. There's a weapon that has been most important to me. Actually, easier for me to read this one.
Yes, yes it is. For those who are not standing right here, it says Enduro. Thank you. I will make certain that the Order puts it to use in the service of the realms in the ways that they choose. But if you would stay, the Order still has at least a couple pieces of business.
Indeed it does.
The first is...
This is wonderful. Hey, look at that.
This belt comes with all sorts of fun things. All right. The first, I need to conduct in absentia. Laurent had pressing business elsewhere. He said that he was tired and slowing down, and yet I see no evidence thereof. But he asked if I would do something in the presence of the assembled realms, and that would be to recognize that he would like to take a squire into this order, and it is important that you all see this. And so as Knight Commander, I am trusted to do so for him. Could Khalil please step forward? Very good. So, for your works in the fight against Bedlam, Laurent was very impressive. He did not have a lot of time to go into detail, but you will need to speak with him in person.
Okay.
But I wanted to say in front of all of these here assembled that you are worthy to join the order, and we are proud of what you have done so far. For those who may not know, and it is important for you to understand, the tenet, the single tenet of the order, is to do what you think is right, and not to let the order, or the knight commander, or anyone else sway you from that. Now, that does not mean you don't take any advice or sage counsel should it come to you, but you do what you think is right. And because you have been doing so, we wish to recognize you. Will you accept the squire's belt?
I accept.
Very good. I am not your knight, so.
That's what he thought.
Look, he's doing it the way he wants to.
With sage advice from the audience.
I've threw these kinds of things up before, so.
And we let him in anyway, so it must be okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
I will take just a couple more minutes because, in addition, there were deeds done by another who deserves to be in this order as a knight, and I will have you speak to the assembled crowd in detail.
This individual has come to my attention many times over the years, but none more so recently in the retaking of Bedlam. This person has stepped forward when others wouldn't to do a quest that they knew needed to be done when others weren't available to do it, no matter what the risk. For this and many other deeds, I would ask Magnus to please step forward.
Oh yeah, we'll get this off. So, you have heard us explain about the tenet of the order. Do you understand and accept that? Would you be willing to be a knight of the Red Bridge? No?
No, I need that sword.
Here, I know how to solve this. Someone just needs to give me a sword. You can just borrow this for a minute. Here.
Very good.
Down.
Oh, right, okay. Well, if you feel that's how it needs to be done, so be it. I understand. We are pleased to have someone who is so upright. You do things your own way. That is what our order is about. I don't have to agree with all of them. But I am usually grateful for them. At least the ones that are successful. You do try, and you often succeed, and the Realms is better for it. So, for everyone here, I dub you in heart and mind, body and soul, a Knight of the Red Branch. Do you want to kill yourself or shall I? Okay, very good. So, this is my belt, obviously. We meant to get one for you. That's what I do. You know, I'm like, welcome, thank you. We will speak more about what the order plans for the future, but in the meantime, This is to say that we recognize you for what you have done so far. Now, since you've done such a good job, we often give a task to the new knight.
Oh, yes.
Because you do things so well. Someone needs to keep this sword safe, needs to make it available to the knights who have need of it during the year. So I am charging this to you until the next black and white to hold in safety and to present as at need to any of us who need it. I'll hand this over.
Can I have my sword back?
What?
That's mine.
No.
That's mine. Champion of Man was.
And
Is
that
that
sword
sword
was given to you to use.
All right.
Very good. All right. Thank you all very much. And
We'll agree to disagree.
yeah, Magnus. That's okay.
By right and tradition, the last word goes to the crown.
It's been a long, hard year. And I'm grateful to see so many faces here. And I am profoundly saddened to know that there are some faces I'm not going to get to see again. Chimeron Lost Song. I would have you stand before me. You are not, I will have you stand before me. You have earned that right. You are not one of my vassals. But you gave your life to save these realms and to save my people. You are a priest of Kronos, is that correct? You were a priest of Kronos. Then it is my intention to declare that within the lands of Chimeron, as thanks for your actions, no blade shall be lifted against a priest of Kronos unless they strike first. I have also begun today a personal quest at the behest of a Temple of Time as an honor for your sacrifice. I say thank you, and I believe the realms at large owes you a debt of thanks. I would also see Altana and Valerie. Take my sword. You are my vassals. At least until the night ends. And I'm very upset with you. Chimeron lost a great deal in this fight. And there are some that have wandered off that I can hope we're going to see again, that I can hope will find their way back to us, but I don't get that choice to do. I don't get that choice of hope. I don't get to look forward and say, well, you know, maybe someday they'll come back from Danam. There were others. There were others who were willing, and their Lord stopped them. And if I were there, I don't know that I don't know that I would have done different, but you didn't give me that choice. This blade is Soul Taker. And the thing we know about it is that it can inflict Deonan's punishment on souls, regardless of their body. I am incredibly upset with you. And this is not the sword I need tonight. Because there is a different sword that we use when the King of Chimeron is this upset with someone. I would have the avatars join me. One more time, you will kneel before your king. Altana Cecil, although this is posthumous, I dub you once for your past services to this nation. I dub you twice for this last night we may spend together. And I dub you 3 times for the future you have forged for us, though we must go on without you. You will not rise yet. Valerie Hart, although this is posthumous, I will dub you once for your past service to this nation. I will dub you twice for this last night we may spend together. And I will dub you 3 times for the future you have forged for this nation, though we may not share it with you. And now, I bid you both to rise as Knights Avatar of Chimeron. The king gets last word, and it's hard to top that. But the king doesn't always get the last word at Chimeron Court. There's only one group that gets the last word past me. I believe the Knights of the Realms have business before the court. There comes a time, rare, wonderful moments, when individuals, Knights of the Eternal Flame, bring themselves and carry themselves to such a level, to such respect across the realms, that it is only fitting for us to recognize them and ask them to join us as a peer. We haven't talked about it ahead of time, but who would like to say anything in particular?
the word knight gleams, in a sense. The brightness of the word, the strength of what it means, it almost defies a definition in and of itself. Because the path of a knight, being a knight, is so much more than you can put into words. Yet, even though we cannot define it, we know it when we see it. We recognize it in our souls and in our hearts when we see somebody who is truly, in and of themselves, a knight. Those are the very words that I would use to describe the person that we will bring before us today.
Yeah. There was one knight once who, when asked what qualities that person felt should have like typified a knight of the rounds, the comment was that when they sneeze, the round shakes. I don't always like it when this person sneezes, because we don't always see eye to eye. But I don't like it because I can't argue with it, because this is quite often very correct. And the Knights of the Realms would like to call Dave Hayden, Sir Vaughn, to stand before us. The length of your applause leads us to believe you may have an opinion on this topic. Dave, would you join us and stand with us?
Hello.
Then, take this. And there is only one thing left to do. You're bracing. Okay. I was going sideways so people could see. I guess this is better for people seeing. Okay. All right. Dave, accept this blow and no other. This is great. Thanks. There's no courtly words that can top that. So instead, we have some post-court, non-formal business for you. Do you know what that is, or do we need to write that?
I know parts of it. To start with, in 15 minutes, we will have the red-blue ticket auction. So, sign your names, get your stuff in, there's a lot of good stuff over there. Second, if you received a black stone at some point, not at this event, it was a prior one, and you did a paid pre-reg, line up next to the kitchen after this after-court part.
The Blackstones were from this event.
They're from this event? Yeah, I'm a liar.
Yes.
That way, that door. Go that door and go this way, yeah. And that's all I got. Right?
Right. Is there anything else we should know?
No, that's it.
Oh, but while he's here, if you've enjoyed the food tonight, you should thank this year's Feast of Crack. Who says you can't teach an old mage new tricks? All right, my friends, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.